This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on Dialogue 2023, Advancing Science and Technology in the Country. The participants are Pallav Bagla, Senior Science Journalist, and Balanagendran, Akashvani Correspondent.
On November 18, 2023, Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, jointly with Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, have convened a policy summit to enhance the science and technology horizon. Expansion of science and technology horizon within and beyond the 2023 dialogue. To talk more about the significance of the dialogue and further developments, we have with us an expert filled with experience, Mr. Pallav Bagla. Sir, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I would like to start from the significance of this dialogue, 2023 Science and Technology Dialogue and expanding Science and Technology Horizon. How significant is this dialogue?
See, the dialogue is extremely significant. One, it was held under the aegis of the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, Professor Ajay Sood, who is himself a very seasoned scientist. Secondly, this comes soon after India having held the G20 summit, where the main purpose was one Earth, one family, one future. And when we are talking about making India a developed country by 2047, India can become a developed country only when the bedrock is science and technology. And within science and technology, only when it is made on self-reliance and Atmanirbhar can India really become a prosperous country which is self-reliant, which is independent of shackles. So all of that to chart a roadmap towards that. This Dialogue 2023, where scientists and technologists from different fields gathered in Bengaluru to try and make and understand what the challenges are and to find solutions, was an important step in the process towards India becoming a developed country.
Could you tell us how science, research and development, innovation and education will be helping the society in India?
See, there can be no development in the 21st century without the use of science and technology. Now take the case of a simple thing like digital technology. India leapfrogged from using currency, then shifted very quickly to UPI and QR codes. And today, an average person is so conveniently using QR codes to make payments is an amazing aspect of a change which one has seen in India. Just go back just about a decade ago, there was so much use of currency. Now, everybody wants to use QR codes to make payments, and the UPI digital interface is one of the finest in the world. I have just come back from America, and you should see the use of credit cards and the use of currency there almost seems like a dinosaur age. India has leapfrogged and become the leader in the use of fintech and digital technology. Again, it is completely for the use and ease of living of an average citizen. Everybody looks for a QR code to scan and make payments. A very secure way of making payments. And this has happened because our digital infrastructure reached a point where we could be at a tipping point and change the course. So the world is looking at India's digital technology leap as a solution for the world. So that was a challenge, a solution was found, and it has been implemented in a fashion that the average person is very happy and has convenience and ease of doing business using digital technology. Amazing example of a success story which emerged from India.
So when we talk about sustainable development goals, which has been framed to be achieved before 2030, the global community sees India to be the leader because everybody believes that if India achieves SDGs, and then the world will be improved. So could you take us to the significant milestones that we have done in terms of investment, research and development in science and technology?
The use of this entire gamut of science and technology is very integral to the development of India. And in times to come, we will see more and more of science and technology helping the average person on the street let us look at the success of the Chandrayaan-3 mission by India. Chandrayaan-3 is an indigenous mission by Indian scientists from the Indian Space Research Organization, and it successfully landed closer to the south pole of the moon. It is a very difficult task to send a satellite from Earth, reach it to the moon, and then soft land in an area which is uncharted. It only showed to the world the depth and understanding of science and technology by Indian scientists, and it has showcased to the world how low-cost missions can achieve great things simply by applying the right understanding of science and technology by India's scientists. It is an amazing example of how, when a bunch of scientists decided to put their mind together after a failure in 2019, in 4 years they came back and gave India a wonderful success story. And in my opinion, Chandrayaan-3 united India like never before. I have never seen roads as empty and as celebratory a mood like one saw after Chandrayaan-3. We saw a lot of good things happening, but Chandrayaan-3 was a stellar example of the success of India's science and technology done at its own steam. There are many other examples, and we can talk about them. The vaccine success story, which I sometimes call the vaccine yarn, is also an amazing success story developed by India and given to Indian citizens. So we are on a path which is taking us and propelling to becoming a developed country by 2047. But ye dil mange more. I am not particularly happy to have a developed country by 2047. I want a developed country faster than that. And in that, science and technology and citizens will play an important role.
So could you take us through how artificial intelligence and machine learning have started to embark upon Indian science and technology, as well as how it is going to define the future?
There is no doubt artificial intelligence and machine learning have a role. But will it be the defining moment? Will it change the course of the development of a country? I still have a little bit of doubt. There is a little bit of hype around both these aspects. Today, in a country like India, where there are so many languages, so many dialects and different scripts, to say that ChatGPT or artificial intelligence based on English will have a big dent, I still have my doubts, because we need to translate many of these things into a language or a computer programs and language models where the vernacular languages of India can also be used. So there is still a lot of gap. While there is a lot of hype around artificial intelligence and machine learning, I think there is still a lot to learn, and these technologies need to be refined so that they can benefit the larger masses of India. Do they have a role? They certainly have a role. But right now it may be limited because India's diversity and India's expansive geographical area is different from many other countries. It's not a country which speaks only English. We have so many different languages. And to have a ChatGPT which can talk in all languages is a task which still has to be overcome. So machine learning, artificial intelligence will play a role, but yes, we have to use them responsibly so that they don't cause harm to the average person.
So when we talk about national technology competitiveness, the 2023 dialogue has also focused on this, as well as they have charted some roadmap towards this global technology competitiveness. But I would like to bring you towards speaking about the disruptive technologies, as you have just said about the artificial intelligence as well as the machine learning, and we have the challenges to overcome in order to deal with the science and technology in the most effective and efficient manner towards helping everyone and bringing everyone to the mainstream. So could you tell us how far this ethical framework in science and technology needs to be modified or needs to be renewed in order to make the better use of the technology that is available?
One, there are many things which can be called disruptive. COVID-19 came and disrupted the entire social fabric of the world. But it was the same scientists and technologists who found solutions using science and technology to give the solution through vaccine. And India did a remarkable job by giving over 2 billion doses of vaccines, and the digital platforms India used for giving the certification is an amazing example of the deployment of digital technology to the last mile. Every person got a certificate from the CoWIN app using digital technology. Now, that is a disruptive technology when the world views that. For us, it was something which was a supportive technology. For the world, it was a disruptive technology. Same way, now you have drones, you have different kinds of electric vehicles. These are all, in a way, being considered as disruptive technologies which will shape the future. But what India needs, if you ask me, is one big solution for energy. We are very energy dependent and we are not energy independent. We import so much coal and gas and we have not become independent in energy, and that will cause problems for our security. So we need disruptive technologies for finding solutions to our energy crisis and energy hunger. Those are the disruptive technologies which I would be looking forward for the Indian scientists and technologists to deliver very soon.
As you have specified about the need for disruptive technology and the solutions that have to be charted out, sir, I would like to ask you about the public perception management. When it comes to science and technology, how do you see this public perception can be handled and should be handled in the emerging scientific scenario?
See, by and large, if you ask my opinion, somebody who's been active science and technology journalist for 3 decades, by and large, the Indian public is very supportive of responsible science and technology. And scientists are looked up on pedestals of awe, and Indians, by and large, are very supportive of science and technology. The public perception sometimes gets into a clash when the exchange of ideas doesn't happen and the explanation given by people who are implementing a certain technology are not able to convey that message to the people in a fashion which they understand. So largely the public perception, if it fails or if the public goes against a technology, one has to sometimes look at the messaging which is around it. Let's just revert back to the success story of the COVID-19 vaccination. One, we not only as Indians, we developed our own vaccines, not only did we manufacture over 2 billion doses of vaccines, our public also accepted and took the vaccine. So many other countries, even first they did not have a vaccine, then when they had a vaccine, they did not have enough doses of the vaccine to give to people, and then people also were reluctant to take the vaccine. There was so little vaccine hesitancy in India. It was an amazing show of how Indians were relying on science and technology and were supportive of the Indian scientists who had developed those vaccines and given a solution for a pandemic disease like COVID-19. So the public perception is something, if effort is made to convey in the right fashion, the public is very receptive to ideas of science and technology. Many a time, it is the messaging which fails, and occasionally the messenger is unable to convey the message in a fashion which people can understand. So complexity, and they get multiplied manyfold simply because we are a very diverse country and have so many different languages. So the whole communication and public perception has to be done in the mother tongue and in more than 25 languages. So it is a complex task, but as a country we have not failed. We have tried to deliver as much as we can. We have limited resources, but we try and do as much as we can to bring science and technology to the doorstep of every person and make it as a part of ease of living for an average Indian citizen.
Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Dialogue 2023, Advancing Science and Technology in the Country. The participants were Pallav Bagla, Senior Science Journalist, and Balanagendran, Akashvani Correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928-909-4044.